So we haven't done a garden video lately. My beautiful, beautiful, beautiful garden is a deer salad bar. You would think planting raised beds or growing any type of garden in town. I'm not in the city limits technically, but I'm in the city. You would think you wouldn't have to fight the deer. I know a lot of you know different. But we've got a mama with a set of twins who are munching on my raised beds. This is just one of the three. The other two look just as bad as this one. And so I just had two reasons for doing this video today. Number one, don't get discouraged by the deer because everybody has them, including Sanders Garden Center. And if they're eating back here, I'm mad because I didn't plant as many collards as I planted cabbage, and then we were growing Brussels sprouts for the first time. And I don't know that I'm gonna get to eat any collards because she's pretty much ate all of them. But I would much rather her be eating back here than eating in the front of the store where my sellable merchandise and shrubs are, because she has done that before too. But with that being said, everybody has a problem with the deer. So we can just kind of talk today about some things to deter the deer. We've used Milorganite, which I started out using as a deer repellent, and ended up now I use it as my fertilizer, because that's what it is a slow release high iron fertilizer. Has an odor that typically repels the deer, but evidently mama has gotten used to it and it doesn't faze her anymore. I'm not a fan of sprays. We have a really good spray that we sell a lot of that my customers tell me sticks really good and stays for a long time. I'm just not even though I like to schedule and I like to follow a routine, Sanders Garden Center usually throws me 3 or 4 curveballs, and I don't want to have to try and remember to spray after we water, after we rain. So if that's an issue for you, you might want to think about that. But do know that my customers who do use it love it. There are different devices that you can put. 2 years ago, Mama Deer found my lettuce and my tomato plants and stuff out in front of the store, and we ordered off Amazon these motion sensors that had a really high pitch. I didn't think they really worked that well, so I'm not gonna go that route again. We went over to Ace a couple of days ago, one day last week, because I had heard they had a motion sensor that flashed a light. They didn't have any more of those, so I'm gonna go on Amazon and check that out. Don't know if that works or not, but the high pitch thing didn't for us. That didn't faze her. It just drove all the kids crazy, because older people, not me, but older people can't hear that high pitch. And all the teenagers, the high school kids that I had working in the spring, were like just plugging up their ears because they could hear it. But that didn't faze her either. So here we are fighting the deer in town. Our Brussels sprouts, and two, okay, I've got a third point with this video. You really can't freak out over the deer with your fall garden. It's not hot, so it's not like this damage is gonna, kill the plant. You probably do need to be on the lookout for any kind of bacteria, any kind of opening. A wound to the plant opens it up for the possibility of a fungus or disease. But typically with a fall garden, you don't have to worry about that like you do in the heat with the summer stuff. But as ugly as this is, I've got all kinds of baby Brussels sprouts down in here. So Southern Living will not be taking a photo of my garden this year, but I will still get produce from this garden. All of these are Brussels sprouts and they're fine. I've got 2 beautiful heads of cabbage. A new cabbage that we seeded this year, Katarina. I like to grow things that are new so that I can tell people when they ask me, well, how does this grow? How big does it get? How hard it, you know, those kind of things. I can say, this is a really, I love this. This cabbage just, the leaves just open up. She's kind of munched on this leaf, but she's not touched this head. I don't know if this is her, probably taking a bite off of that. You know, you'll have to watch. That's kind of, it's not been cold enough or anything for the head to crack, so she's probably took a little nibble from there, but no big deal. You know, I'll share my cabbage. All I gotta do is cut that off. Then I've got my red jewel. She likes it too. The red jewel seems to be a little slower growing. Got a little tiny head in here. I've never grown red jewel cabbage before, so there's that one. In the second bed, I mean, she didn't bother these. I think she started eating off of these last, but this is another new cabbage that we started seeding and selling the plants this year. It's we've always done blue Vantage, and so they had a crystal Vantage, and so that's what this is. She's not bothered these heads either, and I love watching this stuff grow, because look at the difference in how this plant is huge, and you've got these leaves kind of protecting that big head of cabbage, where with the Katarina it just kind of blooms and opens up, and there's your, you know, there's your produce right in the middle. Taking that one home with me today, by the way. And then up here I've got my beautiful collards. What I'll do with these collards is just strip them down. They'll be fine. All of this where she's been nibbling, I'll break all this off, and you still got plenty of growth in here. A lot of people will completely, once their collard is ready, they'll either pull it up or they'll cut it off right here. But what we do is just go in here and break them off. And I would strip these down, wash them, strip them down, cut them up, and cook these. But since she's been eating, all we'll do is go in here and strip them down and just let them start over and try to keep her out of them. So all of this in here will grow and give me big leaves. This will grow and give me big leaves. This one down here is pretty much fine. So again, the good thing about your fall garden is this is not a total loss. It just won't be making the Southern Living catalog. But if you just go in here and clean it up, toss these, I'll take these home to the chickens or to the pigs, give them a treat. And then I've got a perfectly good plant in here that will put out, and the leaves will be just as big and pretty as this one right here. So if you're fighting the deer in the fall, no big deal, just a lot of frustration and headache. Try whatever, the sprays, the powders, the motion sensors, any of the old tricks with diapers or bars of soap or whatever works to repel your deer, because I truly believe they're all different. They're all different. What works for me might not work for you. What works for you might not work for me, but we will just take it and roll with it and keep working that garden and keeping those plants as healthy as you can, and you will still get some benefit from them. So just so everybody knows, even at the Sanders Garden Center, we fight the deer, we fight the bugs, we fight the fungus, we fight we fight everything that you fight at home in your raised bed or in your containers or in your traditional in-ground garden. So just keep working at it, keep learning, and keep on going. Keep on gardening.